Okay, so I had the gastric sleeve June 14th at right about 2 o'clock p.m. They moved my appointment time, but I still had it, and it was quite an interesting situation, I guess you would call it. I got really scared right before because my grandmother, she decided to say that she had a friend die from the surgery and all these other things, and so all that was running through my head, and I was getting kind of concerned and kind of worried that am I going to be okay and all this, but I still said, you know what, I paid the money out already, I've got to do it. So I did it. Said goodbye to my kids in the morning, and we drove down, got there about noon, checked in, and then I went into surgery at 2, which it wasn't bad. I mean, it was pretty easy. They had to put in an IV line. They had to poke me a couple times because they couldn't get the IV in, but that's normal with my veins. And then they made me make sure that I had the pills that I was supposed to have the night before and things like that, and that I fasted until the surgery. And then everything was good. And the anesthesiologist stopped by, the surgeon stopped by, and everybody kind of stopped by and talked to me and make sure everything was checked off and then all my answers were right and then I was okay. And I was. So then the anesthesiologist came and he brought me to the room and he said he was going to talk to me a little bit in there before we started the surgery. Well, I get like up on this table. I had to take my contacts out, so I couldn't see at all because I really need LASIK because I can't see. I'm blind without contacts. And so I had my contacts out, so I couldn't really see what's going on, but I could see a little bit of the operation room. And they got me on the table, and I barely got to the point where I was even laying down, and where they started strapping my right arm in. And he's like, I'm going to give you something for anxiety here, you know, just so that you can relax. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in recovery. Like, it just went black. Like, I was gone. And, like, it was instant. Like, I have never been put to sleep before, and I didn't know it was so instant. But it was. So I came out of the surgery. I did not have a hernia at the top of my stomach, which means he didn't have to stitch or anything, and which is great because now the heartburn stuff probably won't be as bad as if I did have that, and I don't. So that's a plus. When I came out, I was not doing so great. I was really uncomfortable and very unhappy. My husband has some pictures of me, like, right after I woke up, like, when they let him back. And he's like, he says I look like I was trying to kill him with my eyes. So, and I remember waking up just going like, oh my Lord, but I'm alive. So that's all that mattered. I'm alive. And so I rested for a little while, and then they started giving me some fluids, and the fluids weren't helping because they were cooler. And I mean, they were room temperature, but they were not as room temperature as I'd like them to be, or needed them to be. And they gave me all the instructions on what I needed to do and how I needed to do it. And I went back to the hotel, and we checked in, got in. I laid down for a rest for a little bit. Then I would get up every 2 hours and take a walk. And then he would try pushing fluids down my throat, my husband would. And they were all cool liquids, not cold, but just cool. And that hurt so bad. I seriously got down 4 ounces of liquid that night when I was supposed to have 32. So when I got there the next day, because I had to go back for IV fluids and to make sure that I'm not having any complications, they're like, you got 4 ounces down? This is not good. So I had to stay there like an extra hour and have more bags of liquids. But we found, she brought me some chicken broth. The warmth helped me. For some reason, the warmth of the chicken broth, I can get down anything that's warm very simply and easily. It doesn't hurt. I mean, I still have a little bit of that uncomfortable pressure, pain when I drink, but nothing like that cold when the cold comes down. I mean, I even tried this morning to take a drink of cold water or cooler water, and I almost puked on my mom. So, yeah, it was interesting. But so they got me started on that, and now I've gotten in over 32 ounces a day for the last, yesterday and today, I got in over 32 ounces a day. And one thing that they will tell you, or they might forget to tell you, I guess I haven't told everyone, but don't look at a scale right afterwards, because I went from 280 at the start of all this, and then I was at 254 at the hospital where I had the surgery done that day. Now I went back up to like 268. And so pretty much gained a whole like 15 pounds, but all of that is water, because that was what they put in through the IV. So, and there's a lot of stuff I have to get out of my body again, but that will soon go away, they say. So yeah, I was not very pleased to see the scale go up. They told me not to look at it. I did it anyways. Stupid me, right? The scars aren't too bad. They're not pretty by any means. They're really ugly. They're not that painful. I've had one, the one that they took my stomach out of, that was pretty painful. That was the only one that really bugs me. But more of the like motion, like of just movement hurts, or if something bumps my stomach, it hurts. But it really isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like the first night I was going up and down stairs, like my husband got tired and he just said, well, like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And I still was up every 2 hours, if not every hour, and I was like, well, they told me I needed to walk, so I walked. A lot. I mean, the guy at the hotel even was like, knew me by name because I was walking around the lobby, so I didn't wake everyone else up in the hotel. So there's these gases that they'll blow your stomach up with to do the surgery, and it goes up into your lungs and into your shoulders, and it hurts so long. The sooner you get those gases out, the better, because the pain of the gases is worse than the surgery itself. And then learning portion control. Like like my mom was leaving just a few minutes ago, and I grabbed my tea and I took like a big swig of it, and I even stopped with it in my mouth going, what am I doing? Like, do I spit it back in the cup or what? So I tried to slowly take it down, like just a little bit in my mouth at a time that I had already had in my mouth, and I still got way too much in my stomach at one time. That is painful. That sucks. Do not overdo it. So you need to measure out your stuff and say, okay, this is how much room I've got in my stomach. This is what I'm putting in my stomach, because if you don't, it's going to be painful. And I'm still on liquids. I had like a little bit of pudding today because I was allowed to have pudding, and I've got some medicine in with that pudding. But other than that, like, just measure out your stuff. But I'm feeling good. I can't wait to see what my weight gain starts happening. I'll show you my scars here in a minute, but I'm really excited for my new life. I don't look very good. I'm not supposed to have a shower because I've got this super glue on my scars that I'm not allowed to get wet. So I haven't had a shower in a couple days, but that's okay. So yeah, that's my update. I am finally sleeved for like ever. I've been waiting and gone through all of that, and now I get like a week and a half off, and I could have gone back to work yesterday. Honestly, I could sit at a desk right now and do my job. I mean, I sat at my table this morning, the most uncomfortable table in the house, but it was just one spot I could sit, and did most of my accounting work for work. I don't think I'm going to have an issue going back to work, but I'm still going to take more time. I might go back a little bit earlier than I expected, but I think I'm getting around pretty well. I mean, my mom is having a hard time keeping up with me, and she's really getting annoyed at that because I won't let her just take care of me, and that's what she wants to do. So, but yeah, so I'll show you the scars, and then I'll be done. Okay, so this one right here is where they took my stomach out. Let's see. These are all where they used the little tools. And then I got one right here. Right there. So I've got 6 total. Belly is very bloated, very hard. And it looks like I seriously gained even more weight, even though I didn't. But, and then they also put a nice little bruise on my leg. by stabbing me with something. They warned me they were going to stab me with a needle. Heparin or something. But yeah, so, oh, and I suggest not wearing white ever to your surgery, because I have blood all over it, so I've just been wearing it because if the blood's already there, why worry about it? I'm going to have to throw it away anyways. So, anyways, so hopefully I'll make some update videos saying, hey, I lost this much weight. I will talk to you later. Thanks.